morning. Welcome to Becca's World. I'm your host, Blind Becca. Today we're recording another episode of The Blind View, and Leon and Joetta are joining me from Houston. How are you guys today?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Doing good.
Oh, I'm good. Things are pretty crazy out there yet, aren't they, guys?
Yes, they are. Never thought I'd see this happen.
I'm sorry, guys. Hold on, my dogs are barking. Anyway, Leon, there was something specific that you learned about this morning that I think we could probably get started with, right?
Yes, it's about these college campuses, and it was a list of the top 10 most liberal anti-American colleges. I'm just gonna go through a couple of them, what they've been doing since over the last couple of years. What was that? The University of Colorado. You can't even what was that? Say the word America or American, because it might trigger some students. And look at the University of Oklahoma. They've gotten rid of the Pledge of Allegiance. That's just sad. It's horrible what's going on in this. What this university is teaching our youth.
Yeah, and those are just two examples of different policies in a lot of our universities that are restricting our children's, free thought and free expression.
Mm-hmm.
And it frustrates me.
Since this George Floyd stuff, these so-called protests for George Floyd, which is not about, it's just about Marxists trying to change American values, which is terrible. It's terrible. I'm tired of it. I've had it up to here with it.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Marxists have stolen the message that George Floyd's family was handed when George was murdered. It's like they've hijacked it.
Yes, they did. And Black Lives Matter is not even about Black lives. It's about, if you go on their website, it clearly states they want to get rid of cisgender patriarchy and promote Black trans. No, I don't care what you do with your life, that's you, but I love the nuclear family. I love it because that's the way I grew up, and look what it's done for me.
Yeah, most of us grew up in nuclear families, or at least we were born into nuclear families, even if our families didn't subsist,
Mm-hmm.
It kind of brings up to mind something that I thought about all for the last week or so. Back in 2001, and Leon, I know when I mention this song, you're going to know what I'm saying. The Four Tops came out with a song called The Keeper of the Castle.
I think I do.
Uh-huh. And back then, in the very beginning of the song, it says, live it down. Every one of us has been pushed around. Red, yellow, black, and white, and brown with a tear of their own. And you're talking about, can't you see? Why you picking on society? All the leaves of your family tree are begging you to come home, to be a father to your children, and to make your wife be happy. Well, here's the thing. Men are not in their homes anymore. Children are growing up without that nuclear family. And I brought this up the last time we were talking, Becca, about how sometimes, when the young lady finds out she's pregnant, the guy jets. Or then she's either forced to work doubly hard or go into drugs.
Or abort the kid.
Exactly. So
yeah.
This song is talking about the unity of the family. No matter what color you are, you need to hold together as a family. And instead, look at what's happening. People are running up on society, griping about what society did, instead of looking back behind them at their own backyard to straighten it up first.
There have been policies, governmental policies that have been handed down over the decades, though, that have served to destroy the nuclear family in this country, Joetta.
AKA welfare.
The individuals are definitely responsible, but these policies, like the stuff, the Clinton crime bill, what that did to remove so many fathers from homes. You know what I mean? It was horrible. And then other policies that have changed the dynamics of the financial situation in the home, so that now there's two parents working and the kids are like just running rampant. You know what I mean?
Well, may I dare say democratic policies?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's democratic policies. LBJ, even though he signed the civil rights bill, he didn't want to sign it. But he knew if he signed it, black folks were gonna keep voting Democrat forever. That's why he signed it. He was against it at first. But that's what he wanted to do. Okay? Welfare states that there cannot be a man at the house at all. You know, as long as there's no man in the house, as long as you have kids under the age of 18, we'll keep paying you. And that's the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah.
That's only part of it. I don't think that's all the problem. Part of it is also once they keep doing this and they see, and I'm saying this on my own from what I've noticed growing up, when there was a man in the house and they found out how easy it was to get the money as long as he was gone, these women would lie through their teeth to get everything they could from the state, and then the man would come back home and they'd split it between them. But then when a home visit comes up and they get wind of it, everything that man had in that house would disappear. And this I've noticed growing up, because we had a neighbor right next door to us who was married, husband wasn't working, he's sitting around the house.
So guys, is it possible that these things we're talking about, these things, these laws that made things happen in our society and our families, is it possible that that we could change these policies, or do you think it's too late?
It's never too late to change, but it has to come from within. You have to be the one that wants to change it, because like the way that me and you both can attest to, we've seen in these projects, it's generation after generation going through the same stuff, right? Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Your grandmother started. She has a daughter. Their daughter has goes to the welfare program. She has a daughter, and it just keeps going and going. And sometimes you have 4 or 5 generations living in the same project. You know, when is it going to stop? You have to stop it. It starts with you.
It starts with the parents or with the kids?
Well, no, the parents. But I'm saying you have to be the one that wants to stop it. You know, that's
remember
why
we was talking about that last week.
And you know, this is why I don't like the Democratic platform, because they label everybody as a victim. I'm not a victim. I might be blind, but trust, I'm far from dumb. Okay, I just want you to get out my way so I can do what I can do. Just get out my way.
Stop with the social policies that are holding us back.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, my dad, I've seen both my dad and mom get up every day at 4:30 to go to work. Well, until my dad, retired and went to his other job doing the graveyard shift. But even then, when he was working at his other job, which he retired from 30 years of working, got up every day at 4:30, out the house by 5. I've seen both my parents do that. And that's what gave me my work there. So when I first got my first job at 18, I was never late. I never talked back to anybody that had authority over me. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. What you need me to do? Because this is what you pay me to do. I don't come there complaining. I come do my 8 to 10 hours and I'm going home. What's so hard about that?
Leon, how many years did you work before you lost your vision?
Let me see here. Ooh, let me see. 18, 19, 20. About 8.5 years.
So did you face discrimination based on your race during those 8.5 years?
No,
You
they
did not.
hired me. The managers hired me on. I'm gonna pay some idiots every now and then, but they weren't white. It was from all races. They're just idiots.
Mm-hmm. People who prejudged you because they didn't know what was going on.
Because I had an Asian kid come tell me I wasn't from the hood. That's the way I talk.
I'm sorry, guys, my dogs. And it
That's
sounds
okay.
like my gardeners or my landscapers are here outside too with their machine on. It should be clearing up in a moment.
Yeah, I mean, I had that Asian kid. I didn't know where to hit him or just turn him in, but I just let him slide. You know, like, man, you just don't know what I know. You know, where I come from. You know, I even faced it in high school.
So you feel like you didn't face?
Huh?
You feel like you did? You feel like you did not face discrimination when working? What about? Do you feel like in high school and in grammar school, do you feel like you were given access to the same benefits and programs and stuff that your white peers were given in school?
Well, not really, because I went to a mostly black high school, and excuse me. The thing about it was the counselors. They were the ones that discriminated against me.
Because they told you couldn't do stuff.
Yeah, they were supposed to go to a community college. What was that? Walkthrough or something. And the lady literally told me that I couldn't go. This was a counselor. So
and her reasoning for that.
I wasn't smart enough. That was to her. But once I graduated from aircraft maintenance school, I went back and showed her, look, hey, don't you remember me? You told me that I couldn't be, and I wasn't smart enough. But here it is, I got an aircraft mechanic license. What you got to say about that? I make stuff fly. And it comes from our own people, Becca. Black folks, they discriminate against their own people, and it has to stop. That crab in a barrel mentality has to stop. I'm tired of it. If we do good and we move out the neighborhood, we call sellouts and Uncle Tom. I don't understand that. And if you must know, Uncle Tom, he was actually the hero in the book Uncle Tom's Cabin. A lot of people don't read the book. You read the book, he is the hero.
So do you think it could possibly be, Leon, that those people who call you an Uncle Tom didn't have the gumption to pull themselves up and become successful themselves?
A lot of my peers were I think they didn't have that nuclear family structure like what I came from. A lot of them I think they were just jealous of the family structure I had, because I was called an Oreo, Uncle Tom Coon. I'm like, how can that be? And I grew up in the same neighborhood as you. I don't understand that. I don't talk with a slang. My parents would not let me talk with a slang or sag my pants. They were gonna knock me into a coma until next week. I better not go out the house with my pants sagging. I just couldn't see myself doing that. Once because I was supposed to have went to the Army like my dad, but since me being diabetic, I couldn't go, and that broke my heart, because that was my plan. I literally had no plan after that, because I literally found that I couldn't go about 2 months before I graduated from high school, and I didn't save money like some of the other students did. But I persevered through that. I found that I'm a mechanic junkie like my dad. I love working by my hands, and that bug bit me, and I've been on it ever since. I never consider myself a victim, or if I was oppressed or anything. I never seen it.
That's good, Leon. I like that. What about, do you know do you have friends or family that you feel have been victimized by the system, though? Have you seen anybody else get victimized? Like
stuff that they even do to themselves. It's stuff that they did to themselves. My dad's side of the family, most of my cousins have been in jail. I'll take it back. I'm sorry, prison. And it's stuff but they didn't have that nuclear family structure. You know, and I've had family members just it's like they hated on me throughout my entire youth because of that. You know, they thought my parents were rich. My parents are not rich. They just get up and go to work every day. Because your parents didn't.
It's not that you and your parents were rich. It's that you and your parents or you made different decisions in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just don't understand, you know, like the Democratic Party, that platform, you're a victim. If you're a minority, you're a victim. And no, I'm not. Everywhere I've been to, they always treated me with respect. I never felt like I was going to get lynched or they were going to call the cops on me, even though I had the cops call me one time before I was in a parking lot. But as soon as the cops came, I didn't act a fool. I showed them my ID, and they left. And that's the problem with a lot of black youth. They don't have they don't like authority, and they don't know how to.
Do you think maybe it's that they don't know how to speak to authority?
No, well, that too, but it's just no father figure. That father figure puts that authority and discipline in you. You act up, he's gonna make you act right. He's gonna make you straighten up and act right. That's what a father does. Mother's there to nurture, father's there to discipline. And that's the problem with a lot of black youth. They don't have that father discipline in their life. You know, they get put over by the cops. Why you put me over for? You don't know what that cop put you over for. It could be anything. Like, you know, your tires going flat or your rear view light. I mean, your rear view not rear view. I'm sorry. Your tail light is out. Your rear light is. I'm sorry. I'm getting my car lingo all mixed up. But just sit there and be patient. Just see what they want. When they come into the car, you're ready to fight and cuss the cop out. No, don't do that. And that's your job is to make it home at the end of the day. You don't hold court on the side of the road. You hold court in a courthouse. And that's the problem.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have to point out, though, that anybody who, especially a young person who gets pulled over on the side of the road or has any interaction with a law enforcement individual, police officer or what have you. I mean, I was young at one point myself, and when you're young like that, it's scary dealing with an adult in authority. And if I were an African-American youth, I'm sure it'd be even more frightening. And I have a couple of teenage boys myself, and I know my sons, especially my older son, pops off with some really ridiculous stuff out of his mouth, you know what I mean, without thinking about it. And if he were black and he said some of those things to a cop, he'd be in deep trouble, you know? So I kind of understand how an African-American youth could accidentally say something that's going to get him in trouble. Because my son does it all the time. I've told him so many times, watch your mouth. You need to not talk like that.
Betsy, can I intervene with that right quick?
Woo.
On that statement, can I intervene right quick?
Yeah, I'm quiet. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, like they say, you know how many black folk were killed last year by the cops? Take a wild guess.
Did you say how many people were killed by the cops?
Black folk were killed by the cops last year.
I don't even want to guess, because if I guess too high, I'll be horrified. If I guess too low, I'll be horrified. I don't like guessing.
It was 9. It was 9 total.
Okay.
You know how many white folks were killed by the cops last year?
I don't know.
Over 19.
Okay.
Cops are now afraid to more black. How can I put this? More black folks kill the cops than cops kill black folk. Okay, that's the problem. The cops are afraid to even try to discipline black youth anymore, because look, the stuff that's been going on with George Floyd and now Rayshard Brooks. You know, and like I told Joetta about Rayshard Brooks, he pointed that time. He was unarmed. He was not unarmed. He shot a taser at that cop. Okay, I didn't say he deserved to die, but he caused his own demise. He caused that on his own, and that's the problem. Yeah. George Floyd, that's a whole nother can of worms. Yeah, he didn't deserve to die. He did not deserve that.
Ahmaud Arbery. is
No.
another
sorry.
situation as well. I just wanted to talk about some of these other, like Ahmed Arbery. You remember him, Leon?
In Georgia. I remember him, yeah.
Yeah, that, to me, that was clearly another case, just like what happened to George. That was clearly murder, what happened to Ahmed.
But the thing was,
there are authentic cases of racism going on, but the way we're handling it is not working. You know what I mean?
But you can't say George Floyd was racist either. The case with George Floyd, you can't say he was racist because he did that. That cop, remember, that was a black cop right there too.
Right, I understand that, but then you look at like Ahmed Arbery.
But they weren't cops though. But remember too, he had been spotted in that neighborhood earlier, and weeks prior to that. And he was not jogging. He was not jogging.
Right. But
that's the thing. That house had been burgled before.
So you're not saying that you feel like Ahmed Arbery was justified? That killing was justified, right?
I don't know, because since I can't really see it, with me being blind, but common sense would tell you if somebody's standing you with a shotgun, you're not going to charge at them, right? You're going to, or why didn't you go back the other way? If you were so, why did you try to fight the guy with a shotgun?
I think the first video I saw of the Ahmed Arbery incident, I think it was one that Stefan Molyneux put out, and when I listened to Stefan describe what he was seeing on the screen, because I'm blind like you, so I couldn't see it. So I was literally listening to what Stefan was describing as he saw it himself. And I have to tell you, throughout the whole thing, I was feeling like it was a setup. And then at the end, when Ahmed grabbed the gun, I still felt like it was a setup.
Well, what about the guy, that's that guy's father that shot, he said he called the cops prior to when he went in the house. So if you're going to plan to kill somebody, you're not going to call the cops prior to that.
Yeah, but it just seemed like I don't see that Ahmed was really a threat to, what was it, Gregory, and I'm trying to remember the other fellow's name, the father and son team. I don't see that Ahmed was really a threat to them that day, and I feel that they used
he was casing that house
deadly force. Was he, or was he just jogging around the neighborhood?
No,
and even if he was, he wasn't in the act when they killed him.
No, but what happened?
He didn't have merchandise in his hands, and he wasn't leaving the residence when they killed him.
It was nothing in the house to steal.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but he chased that house out though. Because a couple weeks prior to that house that got that guy, the homeowner said over $2,000 of fishing equipment got stolen from that house.
So someone allegedly stole $2,000 of fishing equipment from that house. It still doesn't.
And someone stole a handgun from.
Who did it?
I didn't say he did it. I didn't say he didn't do it. But the thing is, and also, they say it was like the guy that stole a handgun from his truck too.
Yeah. See, here's the problem with this situation. It's too late for us to find out if anybody stole tackle equipment, and if so, was it Ahmed? Because Ahmed was shot. That's the whole point. I mean, I feel like they shot him prematurely. I feel like that deadly force that they used against Ahmed that day was uncalled for and unjustified because they didn't have clear evidence that he had stolen anything.
And
maybe
that's true. That's true.
So, to me, that we need to have, what is that called? Where you have a right to a fair trial. You know what I mean? You're not just shot for a crime or executed for a crime. You are charged, and then you're arraigned, and then you're tried, and you're convicted or released.
But
in
the media's eye now, just because they were white, they're guilty. But if there was a black father and son, you never would have heard about this story.
I'm not saying that the father and son are guilty because they're white. I'm saying I don't think they are not guilty just because of what's shown on the video. I think there needs to be more investigation.
I've said that too. But that's why I said just let the Georgia Bureau of Investigations take over. But it's the media that's pushing this. That's the problem. and same thing with George Floyd. Again, like I told you weeks ago, if George Floyd was white, you wouldn't even heard about this. And that's the thing. The media is dividing this country. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is the media, and the media needs to stop because these cases are not being fairly executed. They're being tried in the media instead of thoroughly investigated. You know what I mean? And then the process is not being carried out in the legal way it's supposed to be done. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Jordan, what's your take on it, you think?
Well, I remember talking to Becca about this very situation last week. The media always goes for sensationalism. You know, we've been talking about this, Leon. And what the deal really should be is that they should let the justice system do their job for the people that are involved in the situation, and quit trying to sensationalize this mess. And it's almost like using the biggest gossip vine in history, because that's what media is. It's like a big gossip vine, or a rumor mill, if you want to call it that. And frankly, all that sensationalism has got to stop, because all they're doing is keeping supposition, suspicion, and untrue facts going. Because until they actually have the whole facts of the matter, they're going to invent whatever they're going to do. And that's what they've been doing ever since there was a newspaper. I mean, come on now.
And that's what these riots are supposed to be for George Floyd, but it was never about George Floyd. You know, no. It's about Marxism. It's about tearing this country apart. And like I told you, Becca and Joe, I'm tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. When are American patriots going to step up and start fighting back? Well, some of them have already done that, but we, as a country, we need to step up against these domestic terrorists, Antifa and Black Lives Matter, because Black lives don't matter to Black people.
You know, unfortunately, stepping up comes in a lot of different ways, and if we step in the regard that we take arms and go out and try to protect ourselves, I think we could just make the situation worse. So therefore, I keep my arms at home. Yeah, I'm keeping my arms at home to protect myself here at home. I feel like the best we can do as Americans is let our voices be heard as much as possible, so that people realize that not all of us are the haters out there that are doing all this stuff, and that there are still people here who want this country to succeed and survive. And then the next step is for all of us to go. The next step is for all of us to go vote in November for President Trump to save our country.
That's true, but where's the line in the sand at now? When these George Floyd riots started, you know, they tried to attack the Alamo, our sacred Alamo here in San Antonio, Texas, where Joette is at home at right now. They tried to attack it. It's sad. They're messing up our monuments. You know, it's sickening.
Yeah, they cannot be destroying our very heritage, the foundation of our country.
Somebody has to draw. The line has to be drawn somewhere in the sand. Where we American patriots have to fight back. Something has to be done about that.
There used to be a saying,
bullying us.
There used to be a saying about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and it can't be done like that. We need to fix the parts of our society that are broken, but keep the good parts.
Well, that's the thing. That's the great thing about America. We reformed that. Yes, we had slavery, but after slavery came Reconstruction, which we had the most Black governors, senators, and congressmen ever at one point. But I hate to keep saying it, but the KKK, there was the enforcement of the Democratic Party. You know, they forced that upon us, and they've still been doing that. You know, I've been trying to tell lots of people, especially in my family, what has the Democratic Party done for the Black community since we've been voting for them? It's been going down ever since, and that's the problem. And back to the colleges and universities. Colleges, I thought college was supposed to be what they're supposed to teach you how to think, not teach you what to think. I'm sorry, not tell you what to think.
Right.
That's why all these kids are so angry and they don't have any jobs. Well, you don't have a job because you don't have any skills. You went to school for something crazy. And you expect people to pay for that. No, I don't want to pay for your degree in basket weaving. You pay for that. And that's the problem. Y'all been told a lie about an education. Yeah, we all need an education and something that's going to get you a job, not in, again, underwater basket weaving, where some people have degrees in that.
How do you feel about this, Joetta?
Well, Becca, we talked about this last week. And like I said then, I'll say it again. If you ain't part of the solution, you're still part of the problem. What are you going to do to make it better for our posterity, our children coming up behind us? Are you either got to get up and make a stand for yourself and change, even if it's just your part of the world, make it better for other people after you. Not just for your children, but for people after you completely, because it only starts when you start, like Leon said. But you've got to be willing to get up and do something about it. Otherwise, you are still a part of the problem. And that's just as simple as it can be.
So it sounds like we're all pretty much agreed that it's a matter of people pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and going on with life.
But
right?
Becca, you can't say that with the Democrat Party, especially with these kids in college and stuff. You can't even talk to them. They call you a Nazi for saying that. And that's the thing. Well, you can't sit down and have an intelligent conversation with these kids anymore.
Well, the reason our kids we can't have a sensible conversation with them is because they've been so indoctrinated by what they've been told their whole lives in these public schools and then in these public colleges and stuff. These government-run institutions of higher education.
Like I told my dad today, these professors are teaching these kids to hate their own country, which I don't understand that. I just don't understand it. Why do you hate America? Is not that bad. America is the only country I know where people are trying to get in, and not if it's so bad. How come so many people are trying to get in here? If it's so bad.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Leon, and that's what I've been wondering for years.
And it's again something has to give, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna give my country up to a bunch of terrorists that don't pay any taxes. Don't pay, get out of your mama's basement and go get a job. Okay? Stop thinking that everybody owes you something, because the world don't owe you nothing. It was here before you, and it's going to be here after you.
Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add on to this topic today?
Well, like I say about what you said about grabbing arms, Becca, it's getting crazy out there. They are still in Portland, Oregon. They are still rioting. It's been over 40 days. They are still rioting.
Wow.
I'm like, what are you rioting for? What? Talking about defunding the police? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, some of these rioters are professional rioters, so they're hired to riot, period. And so they'll riot until they're no longer paid to riot, whoever's paying them. So.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, the cops are told to stand down. Heck, look what happened over 4th of July weekend in Chicago, Atlanta, and New York. How many people were shot in Chicago? Over 89?
Oh, yeah.
It's a doggone shame.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And now it's gotten to the point in Chicago, if you even so much as fly into Chicago, anybody coming into Chicago, they now have to quarantine themselves before they even go to the destination they were going to in the first place. So if you're going to go see your cousins, You got to bunk in a hotel room for 14 days before you can go see them.
My understanding is that you have to quarantine for 14 days no matter where you go. And I'm trying to figure out, because I want to do some traveling in the next couple of months, and I'm trying to figure out
it depends on the
how
state.
to do it.
It
Really?
does. It's state to state.
Okay. Well, I want to go up to Montana. I actually own a house up there, so I kind of think maybe I can just go to my house. You know what I mean? Like, I just got to figure out how it's supposed to work, because I don't want to fly up there and then be stuck up there for 2 weeks.
Your best bet is to call Montana and ask.
Yeah, but who do I call in Montana? I was actually going to call the airline.
Department.
I'm going to fly Delta.
Health department.
The health department?
Call the health department. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're the ones that's going to be issuing the predicts and the edicts and all that other stuff. They're the ones that's going to tell you what their requirements are going to be. And
also, back to the arms, Becca. Like I told my dad, I'm glad I got all my arms here. I'll be damned if somebody comes and tries to rob me. I don't have much, but I walk off of what I got. Then let some little punk drag me out of my house and burn it down.
Yeah.
If I can help it, I'm going to help it.
Leon, have you watched my video about tasers?
No, I was going to get to that one sometime this week.
So as you know, I have a gun safe in my house, and I have firearms because I'm a proud gun owner. But as a blind person, I realize it's going to be challenging for me to get a gun and shoot a person if they're threatening me. So I actually purchased a taser that I carry, and for protection, if you're going to be like in a mugging situation or something like that, a taser would work really well. So
it depends too.
But I wanted to suggest that to you if you're looking for an alternative way to protect yourself. You know what I mean?
No. Well, I thought about a taser. The thing about tasers, it might not be that effective on people too.
I don't know. All that electricity shooting into their body.
Look at there's countless videos on YouTube where people get tased and it don't affect them.
Really? I've actually seen, in fact, one episode of Cops, and this was, I want to say 4 months back. Cop tased the guy. He kept running like it hadn't hit him. So, and then come to find out the dude was all hyped up on PCP.
Yeah,
I've heard that about Angel Dust.
You got to take that into effect too. What if they hopped up on? Like, I'll give you another story. Like yesterday, I was going to dialysis. Naked guy just walking down the street. Yeah.
A naked guy?
Yeah, was walking down. The driver like, look at that naked guy just walking down the street.
Did
like,
somebody call the cops?
No, it was like 5 a.m. He was just casually walking down the street. Like I said, somebody like you come across somebody like that, a taser won't affect them. You need what you need to do. I hate to say it, Becca. You got to get get a gun or you got a gun, but get a handgun and
that's
and let freedom ring.
I do need to go get a handgun because my rifle is not going to help me protect. Like
I ought to show you my safe right here.
Go get a handgun.
Man, I ought to show you my safe right here.
Your gun safe?
Yeah, it was right here. It was right next to it. It was right here. Okay. This is why I love my country. I love using my freedom because, like, starting with this little baby right here, it is the Glock 30, 45 ACP, 10 plus 1 in the chamber. Oh, I love her. This is a true man stopper right here. Now, we're going to go to the Glock 19, 9mm. This is the gun you see on most movies, like Bad Boys 1 and 2, probably 3. I ain't seen that one yet, though, but a lot of movies have this gun in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is the Glock 26, the little baby brother to the Glock 19. And the good thing about this one, you can put the Glock 19 mags into this one, and it'll work just fine. Give you extra bullets, I'm sorry. This is a little sister to the Glock 26. This is a 380 Glock 42. I love her. This is my latest gun purchase right here this year before everything got crazy. That didn't sound good, but I'll pick it up. Oh, Wes, what else gun? See, show you that one, show you that one. My little revolver is still in the case, in the safe, but I get that one later. That's no big deal. So those are most of my guns. I didn't take all of them out now. But now to the bigger firepower. This is an AR-15. This is the most demonized gun in America right now for some reason. I don't know why. But it's not fully automatic. It's semi-automatic. You have to pull the trigger each time to get a bullet out. It doesn't go rat-tat-tat-tat-tat like some of these idiotic politicians are saying. But love it. This is one of my favorite weapons. I'm glad I bought her.
Can I ask you a question, Leon?
Yes, ma'am.
So as long as you've owned that AR-15, have you been laying awake at night terrified that gun's going to jump out of the gun cabinet and shoot you while you're sleeping?
Nope. I never had to put a leash on my gun. I never, it stays wherever I put it at the night before. I don't know why.
I've heard rumors that these crazy guns kill people. So
no, my guns haven't killed. They haven't broke out the house at night and went on a shooting rampage.
So do you know? Have any of your neighbors' guns done anything crazy like that?
Nope, not at all.
Wow.
And now this is a true terror right here. The AK-47. Oh yeah, she's bad. I forgot. I ain't found a name for it yet, but it's coming pretty soon.
The Beast?
Yeah. This is something a little bit more subtle than that.
What is he laughing about?
Oh, this is my other baby, my Mossberg Shockwave. This is a short barrel shotgun, and it is legal in Texas, not in California because you go to jail. But in Texas, it's perfectly legal. Bought it just like this from a gun store. Beautiful 12 gauge pump Mossberg. Oh, I love her.
Is that a shotgun?
Yep.
So does it shoot birdshot then, or what is that? Okay.
I use buckshot. Buckshot is the killing power. Birdshot is gonna make them mad.
So can you tell us the difference between birdshot and buckshot?
Well, birdshot is like, of course, hurting ducks and stuff like that, and maybe some snakes. But buckshot
is that more like BBs? Is that more like BBs?
Yeah.
Like birdshot? Okay.
Well, actually, buckshot is BBs too, but it's no lethal.
Okay.
Yeah. The buckshot is more like true killing power. That's what you see in the movies where they get shot, and that's what kills them. Is the buckshot.
So you can do both with a shotgun, birdshot or buckshot.
Matter of fact, you can put them both in the same gun at the same time.
Oh,
I wouldn't do that
decide,
though. But
when you're operating the gun, how do you decide which you're shooting out, the birdshot or the buckshot? Is there a way? It
depends on depends on what you load up first, because the first shot is what's going to go inside the chamber first.
Okay.
Some people do birdshot first, then buckshot, then birdshot. No, I won't. If you come to my house, I want to be political correct, even though I don't want to. But I'm trying to stop them doing for what they were trying to do to me at first. If I can get any more politically correct than that.
Okay.
But that's just some of my guns, and there are more to come. Best believe on that.
So those are just some of your. You said those are just some of your guns. So you have other guns. How many other guns do you own?
I own another AR-15. I didn't want to bring that one out. I have a revolver in my case right there, and there's another pistol right here. I just don't want to show you yet. Matter of fact, I'll just say since it's right here. Here's another 9mm by Taurus. It looks just like the Glock.
So you're a serious gun entrepreneur. A serious firearm enthusiast. That's cool. And
the funny thing, what I like doing too, like late at night, I like listening to scary stories on YouTube about home break-ins. I just like to sit at my desk with my feet propped up with one of my guns on my lap.
Oh, that's fun, Leon.
And I enjoy a good smoke of a good cigar every now and again. I can't show you that just yet, but because that's what's resting. That's how you can see me, because it's resting on the humidor right now.
Hey, Leon, so can you describe for us the process you went through to become eligible to purchase a firearm?
Well, in the state of Texas, all you have to do is not be a felon and just show your state ID to any gun store. And just fill out your 4473 form. You know, it's just like any other application with name, social security number, address, and check out the box of are you a felon? Yes or no. Are you under any controlled substance? Yes or no. Have you ever been convicted of domestic violence? Yes or no. No, and you just give the paper back to the clerk behind the counter. He'll just call the FBI, and you got your gun in 20, 30 minutes. But that's in Texas though. Like in California, it takes up to 10 days, which is crazy.
So they do a background check though. They verify the information you wrote down with the FBI then? Okay. That sounds good.
But since in a lot of states they have concealed carry licenses, the background check it goes out the door because you don't need it no more. Because with a concealed license, it does that for the background check for you automatically.
Yeah, my husband got his concealed carry permit in Montana years ago. So.
Like I tell people, I don't leave the house without it. I'm dead serious. I do not leave the house unarmed. I don't care what it is. I don't care if me and my dad going to the pharmacy or we're gonna be going for a couple hours. I'm not unarmed. I learned that from him. Anything can happen at any time.
Look at everything that's going on right now. That's absolutely true. Anything can happen. And right now we're so much more vulnerable with the rioting and the looting and all the craziness.
I tell everybody, please, since it's going to be kind of hard to get guns now. Well, they're starting to creep up again, but they come back in stock. But if you can't, please go get a gun. Please, because times are getting crazier and crazier. I know, and like I say, it's going to be more rioting, especially after the election. But you best believe it's going to be rioting. You best believe it's going to be rioting. And and I tell people, please, if you buy a gun, please get proficient with it, like I had to. Because after you make your first shot, that's when you get hooked on it. After that, ever since, you get hooked on it, and it's just it's just fun doing it.
Thank you so much for describing that, Leon.
Yeah, the media does lie. Because they don't want us armed. They want us to be fearful. No, that's why we have the Second Amendment. From a tyrannical government and from enemies, foreign and domestic. Anybody breaks in here, I surely hope their family has life insurance. I can't say what I want to say, but I got to say it like that. I sure hope they have life insurance. Because, it's just sad now. You have to do this nowadays. It's sad. You people can't even go outside and enjoy the weather, afraid of getting robbed or shot. That's just crazy.
Well, I think we've discussed the firearm question a lot.
Cigars.
Well, that's something I definitely think we should talk about, Leon. I wonder if we have time right now. Can we talk about being a cigar connoisseur? That fascinates me. I've only known like one or two other people in my life that smoke cigars, but they tend to be like classy individuals. You know what I mean? So tell me about how you got started smoking cigars. Can you tell me about the process? Because isn't it kind of like a clubbish thing or something? You know what I mean?
You just walk into the cigar shop and pick out what you want and pay for it and go out the door. Ask questions like, what blend is this and all of that. It's more of a how can I put it? It's just like wine tasting,
So do you bite off the end of your cigar?
I cut mine. I never bite. No. Okay. I cut it off and throw it away. Cut off the end. Cut off at the head and just give it and just throw it away.
So are you supposed to cut off the end that you light or the end that you put in your mouth? I'm not really clear.
Then that you put in your mouth. So it can breathe. So the fire can breathe.
Oh, okay. And so then you light the other end.
The foot.
And so Do you smoke when you smoke cigars? Do you just take a couple of puffs and then put it out till later, or do you usually smoke a whole cigar?
Like earlier today when I was outside, I was smoking. But matter of fact, I need to go out. Well, I put it out, but usually I sit there for 2 or 3 hours, with a good long cigar. Because I trust me, you ought to see the smokes I got in my humidor right here. I got some big ones. I mean, they're huge.
The cigars?
I'll show you. Hold on, I'll show you.
Oh, dude, I can't see them on the screen.
Oh, but
show for our viewers. Yeah,
okay,
show for our viewers.
This is just one of them.
I wanted to ask you some questions while you're getting those out, Leon. Years ago, my best friend and I went to the Caribbean together, and I remember her stepfather, who smoked cigars, asked her to pick up cigars, Cuban cigars for him. And the impression that my best friend Carrie and I were given by him when he asked for those cigars is that it's those cigars, like Cuban cigars, were like a delicacy that he couldn't get. So that's kind of why I think cigars tend to be a little bit more classy than cigarettes, right? Aren't they?
Well, it's more with cigars. With cigars, it's more of a relaxing thing. Like cigarettes are more just for like a caffeine rush. Mm-hmm. And this is my baby right here. Oh yes,
is that your cigar?
This is the biggest one I have for now.
Is that your biggest cigar or your biggest gun?
My biggest cigar.
Okay.
This thing was about a 3-hour smoke. Oh yes.
Tell her how long it is what she's wanting to know.
Have you started it yet?
No, not yet. I'm letting it get. I'm letting it get. I'm aging it right now.
Oh.
So just like wine or good alcohol, if you age it, the better it'll taste. That's what I'm doing with this one. Most of them actually. Do
you age it at room temperature, or do you have to cool it in the refrigerator, or
put it into a humidor?
Okay.
Humidity is a cigar's best friend. Okay. That's what I got in my humidor. This almost dropped it. I want to do that. This is the CAO Flathead. Oh, I love this cigar. It's strong, and you talk about a long. You come from a long, hard, stressful day. These will relax you. Trust, believe they will. And you see how I got started in them, huh? How I got started in smoking cigars.
Can I ask what the active ingredients are in this cigar? Like, I'm assuming nicotine. Are there other substances in there?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing about cigars. It's just pure tobacco.
Okay.
There's no added. It's just pure tobacco. There's nothing added to it at all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why you got to keep lighting it up sometime because of that. Unlike cigarettes, that's why cigarettes can keep burning after you let it down because all the added chemicals. But not a cigar.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you talk about, I've met so many different people smoking cigars. You wouldn't even know. Wouldn't believe it. Millionaires to everyday Joes like myself. They just love cigars.
It's a good social activity then. Well, maybe not a healthy social activity, but it's another way to socialize with people. Mm-hmm. Another way to open up that door to socializing with people. Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm. I've been smoking, on and off, but it was because of personal reasons. But I picked it up a few months ago, and I never got this far with smoking cigars with having so many, like I do now. I think I have over 100 different cigars in my humidor right now.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So, as a blind man, how do you differentiate between your different cigars in your humidor?
Being organized.
Do they smell differently?
Some of them do. I even have flavored ones, but I say those for a different occasion. But those can't be in my humidor because it'll mess up the taste of the ones that's already in there. The flavored ones. You don't want to do that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Joy, did you have anything else you'd like to share?
I can take the thing I want to talk about to be safe for another day. Trust and believe on that.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us today on Becca's World. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of The Blind View. Please like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Peace out.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.